Good afternoon, everybody. So I have another little offering for you now. This comes again after having read quite a bit of John Clare's work, and it's very much a kind of romantic inspired poem. It's a poem that comes very much out of this era, kind of the 18th, late 18th, early 19th centuries, as I'm sure you'll be able to see in the rhyme scheme that goes along with it and the structure of it. But this is called On the Transition from Winter to Spring, and it goes like this. That there in my solitude at last I did go upon the green hills and sweeping meadow. For pains wrought high among these rills, I see in vain at last the love that kills. The day's remains and the purple hours that come in evening with dismal showers. Love had vested in me something sweet, and has placed me on happy walking feet. To go to grasslands and the happy heights, walking long there through dim dark nights. To come again on mercy's sweeping shore, to find the love there that I still adore. And birds come coalesced in the gloom, and the moon in spinning dusk does loom. And pageants remembered here half wrung, we made our bargains beneath the winter sun, to speak of the last days and earthly hours, and to be at peace under springtime bowers. So I don't know what you thought of that. I quite liked it. I thought it lilts along quite nicely. I love poetry from that era. I love the Romantic poets greatly. Shelley and Keats, Wordsworth, Coleridge, Blake, John Clare, who I'm reading at the moment, is a spectacular poet, very worth checking out for anyone who's interested in poetry. I love that period, and I thought I'd just do some stuff now that is very archaic. It would never get published now in a poetry journal, I don't think. Um, but it's just very fun to kind of experiment with that style or with those motifs and that stylistic sort of framework established during the Romantic movement. And it's very fun to kind of lean into these and thines and these ways of speaking and ways of using language which are very arcane and archaic, but that's what poetry should be, damn it, in some cases, I think. Or that's what poetry should sound like. It should be all that sort of stuff in there. Since, they did so much for poetry, obviously, the Romantics and the pre-Romantics and everyone who went on before then. And it's a great thing, I think, to do some poetry every now and then that's like that. And I'm part of this rhyming poetry group on Facebook. So very often I post these sorts of things in that group just to sort of gauge reactions and see how things go down. Very often people don't like the arcane kind of poetry, but nonetheless, it's enjoyable to write it and it's enjoyable to post it on there as well. And it's rhyming, which the mainstay of my poetry isn't rhyming. I don't do rhyming poetry very fluidly or naturally, I don't think. But I mostly do kind of like free verse poems and free association or very abstract kind of poetry as well. I do all sorts of stuff. I'm a kind of a poetic jack of all trades, if you like. I don't have any kind of particular set style or form that I gravitate towards or anything like this. But yes, I dabble in all sorts of different areas. And I write poetry every day. So I thought I'd share some more poetry with you today. And thank you very much for watching. I love you lots. I think I'll leave you on that and hope you enjoyed this little video. Thank you. Bye. Love you lots.